Switch Station 32 here for another pickup video. As you can see, the table and stuff is different. What I'm going to film on, our old table broke and I ordered this one and it took a while to get in. That's why I had no videos up lately, and I'm sorry about that. We pretty much got all this stuff at our local flea market. We have one huge flea market every year, and pretty much got most of this stuff there. And it was a really good time. Let's start off with the PlayStation 4 games. And these were cheap, that's why I picked them up. MLB The Show, 15. And I got this for $2. So for $2, you can't beat that, really. I had to pick it up for $2. I mean, it is a sports game, but it's worth $2. I've been wanting to get into a baseball game anyway. I just didn't want to pay full price for it, so this is a good way to do it. You got a really good deal on this one, $5. I've been wanting to play this, but I was waiting for the price to go down. I didn't want to pay full price for it because I'm not much into the multiplayer for Call of Duty. I just wanted to play the single player campaign. But he had this, he only wanted $5 for it, and $5, that's a pretty good steal. So I picked this one up to Call of Duty World War II. There's the disc. Another $5 game, Batman Arkham Knight. It's in the red box, but well, I only paid $5 for it. One thing I like about the PlayStation's greatest hits is they don't have the disc. It doesn't say greatest hits on it, so that's good. And then another game I got for $5, Resident Evil Revelations 2. I already have the first one and this one on Nintendo Switch. And I picked it up again because $5. I got it physical. And the only reason I picked it up is because I want to go through it and get the trophies for it on my PlayStation. And for $5, it's worth it. And I got the first one on sale because they have a Big in Japan on sale right now on the PlayStation Store. And they had the first one on sale digitally for $3.99. So I'm going to play through both of them just to get the trophies for my PlayStation. PlayStation 2 games, SmackDown vs. Raw. Now these wrestling games were the best. I wish they would go back to these wrestling games because they were the best. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, probably the best wrestling game ever made. But the reason these were good is because of the controls. The controls made these games. The controls will really make or break a game. If you don't have good controls in a game, the game's not going to be good. And with all sports games and wrestling games now, all they do is update the rosters and then try some more stuff to the controls, and it just ends up being a mess, I think. And the more simplified controls, especially for a wrestling game, is way better. And I think the updated rosters should maybe be DLC every year, maybe $20, $30 DLC. And then wait 2 or 3 years to put the games out, and then when you finally do get one, instead of just having new controls every year and it end up being a mess, just wait 2 or 3 years and then put out a new game with better graphics and better everything, and the games would be way better. And that goes for sports games too. There's the disc, and this one was also $2. And then Harvest Moon from Save the Homeland. Now this game was $10. But it's not a bad price. It normally goes for about $20. And my girlfriend, my fiance, is looking to collect all the Harvest Moon games. She's a huge Harvest Moon fan. So I'm going to have more Harvest Moon pickups on the channel for sure. And she was really happy to get this. And both PS2 games were complete. And I missed the old blue disc for PS2. They were pretty cool. There's your disc. And then we got a couple of NES games. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Got this for $5. Not a bad deal. And for any collector, anybody that wants to play NES games, this is a must-have. I mean, it's not a rare game or nothing, but it's a must-have in your collection. You should definitely have this. Some people consider it a filler. I consider it a must-have, especially if you're not a pure collector and you're just starting off and you want some games just to play. This is a game you got to play. And Top Gun, $2. Another filler, but it's not a horrible game. It's not bad. And then the gem of what we got for the NES, the Flintstones, Rescue of Dino and Hoppy. And this is not the one that's really rare, the one they found on Game Chasers, but this is still a pretty good game. And it normally goes for about $50 or so, and I got it for $20, so that's a pretty good deal. I'm happy to have it. Any Flintstone game back then was really good and sought after, and I'm glad to have at least one of them in the collection. This is beginning to become hard to find. And then my young fellow got a sealed Turbo Super Stunt Squad for the 3DS. That's pretty cool because we only paid $2 for this as well, and it's sealed, and he loves games like this. There's only 4. Might as well open it up because he wants to play it. So not bad, brand new game, $2. And then the gem of the DS games. This is a game I've been looking for. It's not a hard to find game, but I find it's sometimes a little overpriced. They want about $30 for it here in Canada, and used at a flea market. I'm not really want to pay $30 for a DS game, but I ended up getting this for $20. It's $10 cheaper than what I've had been seeing it, so I picked it up. I don't think I'm going to find it at a flea market for cheaper than that. But the young fella really likes this game, and one thing I didn't know about this game, if you guys want a little bit of information about it, you can play as 4 different characters in this. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I thought it was just like the N64 game, nothing different, but it's not. It's a little bit different. And you can actually play 2 to 4 players if your friends have 3DSs or DSs, which is even more cool. There's the back, and it is complete. Pretty cool. A couple of Sega Genesis games: Evander, The Real Deal, Holyfield, Boxing, and DJ Boy. And these Genesis games are getting harder and harder to find here in Canada, so if you can find them cheap, I'll pick them up. I mean, even though they're not great games, eventually that you're not going to be able to find them, because these games are getting older, and the ones in the wild are harder and harder to find. Another NES game I forgot to talk about, RBI Baseball 2. You get this for $1, so not bad. Now, my Super Nintendo collection, I think I've got a bunch of good games for Super Nintendo. That's the one I'm actively trying to collect for right at the moment, so that's the one I spent the most amount of money on. I was really happy with what I got. Donkey Kong Country 2. I got this from my local game dealer, but I threw it in this video because I never made a video about that. And now I have all 3 Donkey Kongs, 1, 2, and 3, so that's complete. I'm happy about that. And the Donkey Kong's games are a must-have for any Super Nintendo collector for sure. Super Punch-Out. Pay $15 for this. And it goes for about $25 here in Canada, so, or $25 to $35 actually, but I pay $15, so you ain't gonna get much better in the deal than that. And the label's pretty nice. Took a chance on this one because it was cheap. Earthworm Jim 2 for $5. It's normally a $20, $30 game, but it's in really rough shape. And I picked it up because I haven't seen it anywhere else, and I did want it, and I'm not 100% sure if it's even going to work, but I took a chance on it, and I'm hoping it's going to work. Mortal Kombat 2, another must-have for Super Nintendo. $5. And I got Madden 94. This is basically free. I didn't want it, but he seen me looking at it, and I bundled a couple of these other games together to get the price down, and he just ended up telling me to take this one, so I pretty much got this for free, so I'm not turning down a free game. Really happy to get this in the collection. Fatal Fury. $10 I paid for this. Then I went to another vendor that wasn't even selling games, and he just had this one randomly, and I just bought Fatal Fury about 20 minutes earlier, and then I found this, Fatal Fury 2. So I was pretty happy about that, to get Fatal Fury 2 and 1, both in the same day. And then the gem, Mega Man X. I had to pay up for this. I paid $30 for it, but it's normally $35, $40 game here in Canada, sometimes up to $50. So I was really happy to get this. And the label is in really good shape, as you can see. So I don't mind paying up a little bit. The labels are perfect on them. The same guy that I got Fatal Fury 2 from, that only had 2 games, and both games I wanted, had this one too, my N64, Banjo-Kazooie. I've been actively looking for this game, but I can't find a good price on it. There's a lot of people want $30, $40, $50 for this, and I'm not willing to pay that much. I don't really think this game's worth, it's not to me anyway, worth $40, $50. But I ended up finding this for $10. I got them both for $20, and that's a pretty good deal, really. Is that you can't really find this cheaper than $30 in Canada. And then the gem of the day, as far as my fiance is concerned, Harvest Moon 64. As I told you earlier in the video, she's actively collecting all the Harvest Moon games. Big fan. She wanted this. This is a more expensive game here in Canada. This normally sells anywhere between $60 and $90. And I don't like paying full retail for games, but I paid up for this. I paid $60, the bottom retail price. Some people wanted $90. I wouldn't pay $40 over price charting, but I ended up paying full retail for it, $60, because she really wanted it, and she was really, really happy to get it. So to see her happy, I picked it up for her, and that pretty much made my whole day, because she was really happy about this. Nintendo 64 memory card, an official one, and I needed one of these, so buddy had it for $5, so I picked it up. They were asking 10. I bought a couple other things from them to get the price down, and I ended up getting this for $5. And that's not a bad price, because this is actually in really good shape. And then another game my fiance is really happy for, Friends of Mineral Town, Harvest Moon. This is the game they're remaking for the Nintendo Switch. So she was really happy to get this. And I think it was $10 we paid for this one. It was normally about $20 to $25, so we got a really good deal on this one too. And then another game I was really happy for. I was really happy because this is one of my favorite games of all time. This is a game that made me fall in love with gaming. Seeing my older cousins and stuff play this game when I was younger, and I was only into like Mario and platformers and stuff, and then I seen this game and I realized what games could actually be. So I was really excited to get this. Boxed Final Fantasy II. Now it's not complete, it's just boxed, but still, I only paid $60 for this boxed. Box and game. So I was really happy about this. And this sells for way more than $60, even without the manual. And it's one of my favorite games of all time, so I'm really happy to have it boxed. It does come with the insert, and the game's really in really good condition. And I'm really happy to have this because I don't have this digitally. It's not on the Super Nintendo Classic. Well, it should be. In my opinion, this is better than 3. A lot of people might argue that, but to me, this is better than 3. So I'm really happy to have this. I wanted it ever since I lost it when I was younger, and I'm really happy to have it back, especially boxed. The coolest thing I got, to me, it's not, there's other stuff worth more than that, but this is the coolest thing because it's in really good shape, is I was on my way home from the market, and we live about 2.5 hours away from where the market is. So we're in our local town, and there was a yard sale on the buy and sell on Facebook. So I just messaged them and said they had any games, and they said they had a boxed NES game. Well, they actually said boxed Nintendo game. So I was like, all right, I'll stop and pick it up. They only wanted $10 for it. And I got there, and this is what they have. Mission Impossible. Now, it's not the most expensive game in the world, but this is in mint condition. Still has the plastic on it. Now it's cut, but it still has the plastic on it. This is the best shaped Nintendo box I've ever seen, not in a glass box. And this is the only game they had. So I don't know how they kept this in such good shape, not even knowing what they had or caring about it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but that is in mint condition. Still in the original packaging. It's the first time I ever unboxed a game that was in this good a shape, this old. Sleeve doesn't say Nintendo on it. As the sticker is in mint condition. You're not going to get a better in condition game than this. This is in mint condition. Has the poster. Has Ninja Turtles on there, a game we seen earlier. Pretty cool. And there's the back. Seeing the box art for the original Metal Gear is really cool too. I never seen that before, so that's pretty nice. I like that. It even has the card. It even has the original price tag on the label, because you gotta remember the wrap's still on this. And for those of you in Canada, that's a Canadian Tire sticker. So that's really cool. I'm really happy to have this in my collection. So yeah, that'll be it for this pickup video. Hope you guys liked it. That'll be Switch Station 32. I'm sorry I haven't made a video for a while. Like I said, I had to get my new table in so I could set up to film. And it took a little bit longer than before. But if you could leave a like and a subscribe, it really helps the channel grow.